Good evening, good evening. Welcome to Motivational Monday with Jackie O. I am your host, Jackie, and boy, do we have a sweet treat in store for you today. I have my very special guest, Holli Beckwith. Welcome, Holli. Yay!
Hello there.
Guys, let me tell you, we're going to have so much fun on today. So sit back, relax, and be motivated. One of the things that we do here for Motivational Monday that we like to do is our goal is for you to be inspired and motivated. But I want you to remember these three words that I'm going to tell you because we want you to be more than inspired and motivated. We want you to be called to action. Okay, remember that. Call to action. Those three words. Remember it. The rest of the segment, the rest of the year, I don't know. Just remember, call to action. So our goal is to bring people to you, our guests to you, that will motivate you, inspire you, share stories where, the hairs on the back of your neck will stand up. But we also want you to put some action behind it. So what were the three words again I said? Call to
action.
That's right. Call to action. So when you watch one of our Motivational Monday segments, you will be called to action. Whatever that action is, that's what we want you to do. So we hope you enjoyed this segment on this evening that we have with Holli. She's going to be sharing her journey. I call it from the boardroom to the kitchen, to the My Chocolate Kitchen. And just her business in itself, what it stands for, and we're just going to have a great time. And I also, before we leave, talk to you about our 7-day self-care challenge. I hope you guys you started it. And if you haven't, we're going to talk about that at the end of our segment so that you can hop on. So again, welcome Holli Beckwith. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you, Jackie. I am so excited, and I've not done a Zoom live session ever before, and I've been practicing and practicing and practicing. So I hope everybody enjoys as much as I'm going to enjoy. So
it's going to be great.
I'm so excited. Well, I've got my little setup here, and we're going to go into a little chocolate demo in a few moments. But Jackie,
I'm going to give a small introduction, my personal introduction of Holli.
Okay.
Here we go. I always like to give a small introduction of my guests because all of my guests that have been on Motivational Mondays are people that I know. People that either I've crossed paths with them at some point in life or that hey, we're still in our circle moving and shaking. And so Holli is one of those people that our paths met. And what I like about Holli, so Holli and I met at, I believe it was a dinner party, her brother-in-law's dinner party. And as soon as I met her, she was just full of energy. And so I was like, oh, I like her. And we sat next to each other at dinner and we talked and we exchanged information. And then this year is when we really connected right before COVID. And I'll let her explain that a little bit, her survival box that she put together. But what I love about Holli is she is such a motivator. She is a supporter and she's an encourager. Every time that I have talked to her, she has encouraged me, and like I'm always taking all of these notes because she has so much good information that she gives me. Like the other day we were talking and I promise you, I'm not telling the story. I had 2 pages of notes. I'm like, okay, yes, I'm writing these notes. So I really love that about her. I love how she supports women and just the whole concept of her business and how she even supports single moms. And she's going to talk about that. So now, Holli, that I've said my little spiel, welcome, and you can give us your introduction.
All right. Well, that was really good. Thank you, Jackie.
You're welcome.
Yes, we met at this dinner party, and I definitely felt a connection as well. And it was like, okay, how can I get to know this person better? And so then we started getting together on, I created a Survival 2020 box with all local small businesses of people in the box as well as my chocolate, because we're all small businesses trying to survive and thrive during COVID. And it's been a huge success. And I'm so happy that Jacquie wanted to be a part of the box too. We had her calming butter in it, and I put it all over my hands and my feet at night, and it's just awesome. So as a result of that, some other things have happened that I'll talk about when we get into the whole chocolate thing. But in 2008, I got to be part of the downturn of the economy. And I had a 30+ year career writing spa concepts and opening spas around the world and the United States. And life was good. It was all 5-star, and I could go, where do I want to go? And I would go create a spa. So in 2008, bam, they let go of the design department. And I was like, oh my gosh, I know I'm next. And bam, I was next. And that was really tough because I was already over 60 at that point. And I knew trying to go back into my field was not going to be an easy fix. Because I even knew, don't hire anybody over 40. You can't afford them anymore.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. So I really thought, and I was like, well, I'm over 60. What do I want to do? And by that time, I was really kind of a chocolate snob, a fine chocolate snob. And having traveled so much, I got to eat a lot of really good chocolate. And I thought, maybe I can make a healthy chocolate. And I had no idea what that meant. But I was like, yeah, but something that everybody could eat. So hold on, it says my battery's low for some reason. That should not be happening.
Okay.
No. Okay, that should be okay. Sorry about that, folks. So, decided to do the chocolate.
Okay, I'm sorry. Now it says power off.
Oh, okay. Do you think you need your charger?
That help? Let's see if I get dinged again.
Okay.
So what do you do when you want to learn something nowadays? You watch a YouTube video. So that's what I did. I watched a YouTube video for 8 minutes and I was on my way. I went to Whole Foods, I got all my stuff and made my first chocolate and shared it with my sister. Jacquie knows my sister. And we were just like, wow, that's what real chocolate tastes like? And that was like 6 years ago. And I have since learned to do a lot of things with chocolate. And now, we're going to tell you a little bit about my chocolate kit, which was the business that I created. And when I was opening spas, I was always asked to create a women's foundation for single moms with kids. And I thought, okay, when I come back home, that's what I'm going to do too. So in my chocolate kitchen stands for Moms and Youngsters.
I love it.
And Moms and Youngsters means, here's like my recipe book, and you can see this. It's my chocolate.
Okay.
I wanted to give single moms the opportunity to have their own business. I survived as a single mom, and that's where all my background in the spa world came from. And so it was a really good idea at that point then to work with other women who had children. And so the idea was to teach them how to package a kit.
Okay.
Bring me the kit all finished, and then I'm going to pay you cash for that kit. You can put it together at your house. And then in 6 months, incentivize you by teaching you how to do a chocolate making class. And then all the profits from the kits would go to you. And then after a year, incentivize you again with a microloan if you wanted to start your own business. So that is my business model with it. And the other two parts that are very, very important to me and I hope this inspires you as well. One is to my charities, and it's the local food bank and the Boys and Girls Club here in the Marble Falls and Highland Lakes area. And the other thing is that I'm very, very, very green and sustainable. So like all of the little bags that go around my chocolate bars are compostable. The paper that I use for my boxes is recycled. The inks are non-toxic. So those are the things that I look for when I'm putting my products together. And if I'm doing an event for you, if I bring it in, I'm gonna take it out. So let's make a little chocolate.
And
All right. So what I'm working on right now is called sweet scraps. And these are sweet scraps from my chocolate bars and the nuts that I roast and some dried fruit that I put in some of my chocolate bars. And I mix it all up, and we've got sweet scraps that goes into bags. I do not have any made up, I'm sorry, because I just had to sell them all to the resort.
That's fine.
So in order to make sweet scraps, first of all, I've got all the dried fruit and all the nuts already in here. And then when I'm making the chocolate bars, which looks like that, these are my white chocolate with lemon, lavender, and tamari roasted almond. And they have been drizzled. So then these are the little sweet scrap bits. So then I take that and chunk it off into the container. Get all those little bits in there and mix it up again. And if I don't have enough of the bars, then I just make the sweet scraps on a tray. And I put the flavorings that are in my chocolate bars on that. And when I do that, sorry, half my table is over. I'll get them into this shape, and then I'll just crunch them up. Okay? Are you drilling yet?
I am. I'm going to be in Marble Falls tomorrow just to come get some. I'll see you tomorrow just to come get some. I'm coming to Marble Falls.
I cannot hear you. Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me now? Oh,
Go like this if you can hear me.
yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
I don't know what to do.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Okay. Oh, we lost Holly for a second. Okay, can you hear me, Holly?
I don't know why you can't hear me.
I can hear you. Can you hear me? I can hear you. Let's see. Hey, we have a little technical difficulties. That's okay. Can you hear me?
Should I continue?
Yes.
Should I continue? Okay. Okay. So again, this is how I'm making the sweet scraps. And the next thing I want to show you is something that I have a lot of fun with, and it is called a smash box. Whoa, it's gonna go off. Now a smash box makes a wonderful, wonderful gift. And as you see, it's in the shape of lips. And on the inside are chocolates. So this piece, the lips, is very, very delicate. So when I give it as a gift, it sits on the table and I give you a mallet and you smack it. And everybody smacks it a little harder than I would. But when you smack it, chocolate goes flying and all the little bits inside go flying. And everybody has a good laugh and eats chocolate for the rest of the evening, and life is good. So you get a party in a box.
Okay.
Okay, so the next thing I'm working on right now is the amenities at Horseshoe Bay Resort. And so I have, these are golf bag chocolate molds. And I have my Texas pecan praline in these. And And I also make for them horseshoes, as in Horseshoe Bay.
Yes. Love
Okay. And then I make the Mexico 5 chili spice. This is Jackie's favorite.
That's my favorite.
And this goes in an amenity basket with tequila as a giveaway for somebody in the room.
Okay.
I'll remember that next time you stay at the resort.
Yes, remember that.
All right. And then this survival box that I'm making for the resort, it's for all the new members. One of the things that I'm putting in that is this little box of treats, and these are called Mendians. And it has a little bit of white chocolate, dark chocolate, and it has all my flavorings on top of it. And it's just a sampling, but it's a very pretty sample, I think. And it all kind of starts with these calettes.
Okay.
And the calettes are kind of like chocolate, Hershey chocolate bits. And they come from the cocoa pod.
Oh.
Have you seen a cocoa pod before?
Yes, I have.
And inside of it, I have cocoa beans. They look kind of like coffee beans, but not really. But when they're in this shape, before this is cut in half, there's about 75 of the seeds in there, and it's covered with a gelatinous material, kind of like grapes. And then it's fermented, and then it goes through different processes, and then it gets turned into these calettes.
Oh.
So the biggest part of that part of it, the actual production chocolate part of it, is that there's a carbon footprint that comes with it. And this is something I'm working very hard to reduce. Now, your carbon footprint is how much petroleum and energy you and your company are using to produce your product. And so I'm really looking closely at staying on this continent to find my raw ingredients. For now, it comes in these nice, pretty bags from Belgium. And before it cuts to this place, it comes from Africa, southern tip of Africa. And then it's got to go somewhere. And then it's got to go somewhere to get overseas. And then it's got to go somewhere to get y'all over here. And then it's got to go somewhere to come to the store where I get it. So, and I've just used up a lot of gasoline to get these little calettes here. So that is my other big thing to be really mindful about.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I can't hear you, Jacquie.
Oh my goodness, I know.
But that's my little dog and pony show, and I hope you've enjoyed it. And I hope I've inspired whoever's watching this, because, wow, I had no idea. But thank you to Google and watching a YouTube video, and by the grace of my higher power, here I am.
Yeah.
So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope if you want to choose something that sounds totally out of reach, just go for it.
Yeah.
Just go for it. Thank you.
So Holly can't hear me. We're having some technical difficulties with our sound, but that was so amazing. And again, as Holly said, I hope that you all were inspired by her story, because in 2008 she was laid off and she didn't want to go back into the workforce because, as she stated, she was over 60. So what did she do? She turned to something that she loved, her passion, making chocolates. She watched YouTube videos, and here she is. And she provides chocolates to one of the a really nice resort in Horseshoe Bay. It's actually the Horseshoe Bay Resort. She does all the chocolates for that resort, and that's the resort if you ever get a chance to go out there. Her products are in wineries and bed and breakfast. Holly, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. I changed my little earbud. I don't know why.
Yay! So I was just telling them like how to find your products, and I was just, reiterating about when you have a dream to go for it. A lot of times we don't. A lot of times I think too, Holly, and I'm sure you can attest to this, that maybe it's fear that keeps some people from stepping out?
Total fear. Total fear. But guess what's on the other side of that line?
Yes.
Success!
Right. Victory is on the other side of that line. And one thing I wanted to ask you about, now that we have your sound going, was about just your journey transitioning from corporate America to now owning My Chocolate Kitchen, because you and I have had many conversations about being a solopreneur, which basically is we are our own one man, one woman show. So where we do everything. So tell me a little bit about that journey that that you have, or your journey.
Well, I kind of did it in stages because of creating this program called Spa Yoga Plus, and that was yoga plus tea, yoga plus wine, yoga plus chocolate, yoga plus aromatherapy, yoga plus energy recovery. And I was already teaching yoga because I love yoga. And so I thought, well, I can take this and do this. And that's really how the idea of the chocolate got started. Is like, I couldn't find a chocolate that everybody could eat. And so I watched the YouTube and then made the chocolate, but then everybody wanted to buy it. So instead of sitting in a serene yoga atmosphere doing namastes all day, I just started getting calls off the wall for the chocolate. And so it kind of took me on the journey itself. But I've always been one to go by the seat of my pants. And that goes back to my childhood when my father would motivate us kids. And he was a competitive swimmer, and so we all love swimming. And so he said, if you will do this, I'll get you whatever you want. And so I wanted leopard bathing suit. So, and all I had to do was swim 3 lengths to the pool. It about killed me. And it took a long time for me to build up to those 3 lengths, but I did that. And that was just like, yes. And the next thing I wanted was a snorkeling set. But I had to swim 2 lengths underwater. That was a toughie. That took a long time. But you know what? He motivated me.
Yeah.
And we didn't have the greatest relationship after I was a grown woman. But I always said to him, I said, but you know what, Daddy? You taught me how to drink. And you pushed me. He pushed me so hard. I picked a song, a piece to play for a piano recital. And he says, oh, why don't you learn something like Flight of the Bumblebee? Well, guess what? It was like 4 years above my ability level, but you can be darn sure I learned how to play that. Yeah. And my daddy said, I was sitting out there sweating my little butt off because you were doing this in front of all these people and it was all my fault. And but you played it perfectly. And that was like my favoriteest classical piece to play ever in my life. But it was because he pushed me and he believed in me. And he taught me how to believe in myself. That's the big thing. Right.
And that's so important, that we do believe in ourselves and we have that self-confidence so that we can move forward and we can, take the risk that we need to take. What would you suggest as we wrap this up? And we were just talking about this, how you have to have that self-confidence. What advice would you give someone that may not have that confidence to go out and to be that go-getter and that risk taker? Because, a lot of times people say, do it, but so what do they,
You have to decide in yourself that that's what you really want. And then you have to, when you know that opportunity is in your face again, and you're thinking, no, don't do this. And then you go, yes. And when I did TV acting, my acting coach said, Just whatever they ask you, say yes. You don't have to commit to anything, but just say yes. And that really taught me a lot, because like going to an interview, this woman's going, you over there. And I'm like, what? He says, can you be here tomorrow at 7 in the morning? And I went, yes. He said, will you cut your hair? And my hair was down in my butt. And I was like, yes. You have a white scarf and a white hat. Yes. And guess what? She said, be here 7 o'clock tomorrow. And all these people are looking at me, and I was like, what did I just sign up for? He said, you're going to be Faye Dunaway's double in 3 days of the Condor. And I was like, whoa.
Wow. Wow.
And that's all I did was say yes.
Say yes. Okay. So, okay, viewing audience, she just told you, just say yes.
Yes, 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 and yes.
Yes, yes.
You can figure it all out in before, but if you commit yourself,
Yeah.
then you go for it.
Yeah, that's really good. I like that. And one question I had, I want to go back really quickly because you couldn't hear me when I was asking you, and that's about your boxes, your kits for the kids. So the kids, they purchase or you give them the kits, they make the chocolate and everything at home, and so they bring it back to you for you to sell, correct? Or do they sell it?
No, I give you all the components that go in the kit.
Okay.
I give you the box. I show you how to package it, how to put it in the box. And then this goes in a shipping box from the post office. Okay. And then you do that on your time at home and bring them to me when they're done. And then I pay you for them. So you produce 1 to 20 boxes, whatever it is, I pay you for those. Just bring them back to me. If you don't bring them back to me, that's your karma. But
yeah.
And there's that trust thing that you have to develop. Right. One, and believing in people, and 2, giving them the opportunity to prove themselves.
Mm-hmm. And then after 6 months of them doing that, if they want to start a business, you give them a microloan to start their own chocolate business.
Not at 6 months. At 6 months, that's when I teach them how to give classes, and so the class will have the kit, and the people will take the kit home. So whoever purchases the kit, you get all the profit from that.
Gotcha.
Like I'm the wholesaler at that point. And then at a year's point, 9 months to a year, depending on how motivated you are, and you come to me and said, you know what, I wanna move to Port Aransas, but I want to start my business down there, then I will give you a microloan to do that.
Oh wow, that is simply amazing. I love that. When when you told me about that, and I was like, that is just an amazing cause. And it motivates the kids to.
It does motivate the kids.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I love it. And I also like too about how your carbon footprint, you want that to be low. I know that's how we are with our products, that we have a low carbon footprint, and that's very important because that's our motto. Our skincare products are not only good for your skin, but they're good for the environment, and that matters a lot.
It does matter. And when you get that, and it's hard to imagine that you can affect the world, but if you can just affect your community, and that community could be small like Horseshoe Bay, it could be big like San Antonio or Dallas. But if you're not thinking about that, then you're not thinking.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, Holli, thank you so much. And
I'm so glad I got to be here for y'all.
Yes, and listen, we're gonna do a chocolate class. So hey, y'all, stay tuned. Holli is gonna teach it, and I'll be sharing information, and we'll be doing that pretty soon. So make sure that y'all stay tuned for that chocolate class, because that's gonna be good. So yeah, grab your girlfriends. That could be a girlfriend's night out at home. Zoom.
It can be a couple.
Girl, I'm feeling it. Yes, it could be. Yes, we can make it big. So
We're gonna make it big.
really, really good. But yes, Holly, thank you again so much for being
Thank
here
you all.
with your chocolates. And y'all, I have had her chocolate. And when I tell you that it is the bomb dot diggity com, it is good. Me and Layla, yes. So I might have to just make a trip tomorrow,
I
out there.
think you better.
I don't know. No, just might have to. So with that being said, we hope you guys were inspired by Holly's story. And if you have any questions, reach out to me and I'll make sure that Holly gets them and, she can answer any questions that you may have. But again, stay tuned because we are going to have that chocolate class that we're going to do via Zoom. And it's going to be really fun. So I hope also you guys, did y'all do the challenge? Remember, okay, so for those of you that didn't see the post on yesterday, today we started our 7-day self-care challenge. So let me tell you briefly about it. We hear about self-care Saturday, self-care Sunday, but what if we did self-care Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? You get where I'm going with this? What if we did self-care every day? Now, some of you probably already do self-care every day, but some of you do not. So listen, if you're depleted mentally and physically, how can you give to someone else? How can you even give to your own self? So let's do this 7-day challenge. So you'll take 5 to 10 minutes out of your day. And if you have more time to give, by all means, do so. But for the beginners, 5 to 10 minutes, that might be all the time that you can devote, and that's okay. So for 5 to 10 minutes every day on this 7-day challenge, you're going to practice something self-care. I don't know. What does self-care look like for you? Is it journaling? Is it yoga? Is it exercising? Is it writing in your gratitude journal? What else could it be, Holly? Practicing forgiveness. Like it could be a whole bunch.
Making your affirmations for the day.
Making your affirmations for the day, prayer, meditation, reading, taking a bath at night with candles. I don't know.
Peach ice cream cones.
Huh?
Peach ice cream cones.
Yes, peach ice cream, girl. Peach ice cream and butter pecan. I don't know. Whatever that self-care looks like for you, we want you to take out time in your day, okay? Starting today. So if you see this segment tomorrow, you still can join, right? Start right where you are. And we're gonna do the 7-day challenge. On Sunday, we're gonna come back together and some of the ladies that have done the challenge, we're gonna be on Instagram Live and they'll share with you their experience. They'll share with you some of the things that they did for their self-care. And it's gonna be great. So I need to know how many people is gonna join us on this 7-day self-care challenge. I got both waving like I just don't care. Okay, so I need y'all in because we're gonna have so much fun doing this. So I'll be posting every day. Like this morning, I posted what I did, and that's what I do every day to start my day. Is I write in my journal, I pray, I do my Bible devotional, and then I read also out of a devotional. So that's my routine. But I'm going to incorporate some other things as well. And I'll be sharing that with you in these next several days. All right?
On Instagram or Facebook?
It's going to be on Instagram. Okay. Yeah. So we want to see you guys doing this challenge. All right. So Holly, do you have one last comment before we close for the evening? You have anything else you want to leave with us?
Don't sweat the small stuff, and everything's small stuff.
I love it. Don't sweat the small stuff, and everything is small stuff. Isn't that what you just said?
Yep.
Okay, guys, y'all heard it. So thank you again for joining us for Motivational Monday with Jackie O. I am so excited Thank you again to my beautiful guest, Holli Beckwith with My Chocolate.
Thank you.
And we will see you guys next week. I hope you have an amazing week, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.